If someone broke your heart, then this video, this podcast episode is for you. My name is Coach Adrian, and I've made it my life to help individuals just like you overcome heartbreak in a productive way and to help you maximize your chances of making it right, of rebuilding a new and improved relationship with the person that you love most. A breakup, a separation, or a divorce can be the most daunting challenge of someone's life. And someone outside of the relationship, a friend, a parent, doesn't really grasp sometimes how difficult and challenging this can be. In short, it is an identity crisis mixed with the feeling of having lost a loved one forever. And many people that I coach have a very hard time grasping the reality that it's over. And so it is very easy to retreat into the prison of self and ego and to feel bad about yourself, to be confused, and to fall into a state of despair or depression because you don't believe that you can be happy again without this person in your life. But the reality is that it's not necessarily over forever. And this may be a unique opportunity for you not only to grow and to reinvent yourself, but to be able to build a life that you're even more proud of and happier. And that's what I love most about my job. Accompanying individuals on that journey of personal transformation from heartbreak and heartache to transformation and renewed happiness and love. But in order to go through that journey, you need to ask yourself some important questions that can help you navigate the path the best way possible. And the first question is centered around the notion of why the breakup occurred, or why did your ex give up on you and on the relationship. And if you don't take the time to really truly understand what went wrong and why your significant other felt like throwing in the towel, it's going to be very difficult for you to reach this goal of creating a new and improved relationship. Very often, you start to feel guilty, as if it was all your fault, as if you are responsible for the state of despair that you're in at the moment. After the initial frustration, anger, resentment, confusion that you may feel towards your significant other, once you start to analyze what went wrong, you may feel guilt and shame. And it is quite important for you to move past those negative emotions quickly, because it's not just your fault. No matter what happened in the relationship, usually there is a myriad of factors that leads to the breakdown of a relationship. Could be linked to both of your personalities, upbringing, perhaps the emotional burden that you're both carrying from previous relationships, and the fact that relationships are hard to navigate and we're not prepared or equipped to be able to deal with them. There are no classes that people take before falling in love and before dating. And unfortunately, quite often we're just expected to know how to deal with crisis in a relationship, how to communicate with the loved one the right way, how to speak their love language, how to make them feel valued, how to not lose ourselves in a relationship, how to not let our emotions get the best of us, how to not fall into extremes of completely neglecting the relationship itself and our partner to pursue our own pleasures and goals, or the opposite, how to not rely too much on our significant other to the point where we overburden them and push them away. So it is important for you to understand that it's not just you. Nothing is wrong with you. Of course, you need to analyze the negative actions, the bad patterns that may have occurred in order for you to truly understand where you need to put your energy into. What sorts of habits do you need to develop at this point in order to become a better version of yourself? But ultimately, understanding leads to renewed confidence because you can create a plan that will enable you to see progress, to feel yourself getting better. And even if your significant other is not validating that change, because most of the time your ex will be the last person to acknowledge your transformation, friends, family, coworkers will tell you, wow, what's happening? What's up with you? You're different. You've changed. You're no longer doing perhaps some of the same negative things that you used to do. But then your significant other, your ex, won't validate that. And that is okay. Ultimately, what I'm asking you to do, in a nutshell, is to detach and to focus on the things that you can control. Not to worry about what this person thinks about you or how they feel about you. Not to worry about the fact that you have a broken heart and that you feel like this is a devastating blow. But really to turn this into an opportunity to grow by focusing on small, measurable actions that are part of a bigger plan of personal transformation. Because as you continue to evolve, your significant other will start to see you in a different way. I have gone through heartbreak. I have been broken up with. I know how difficult it can be. But I've also found ways to bounce back. And looking back, actually, those breakups were necessary. I needed that wake-up call at specific periods of my life to continue to evolve and to continue to grow. And it's through mistakes that we really, truly learn. Now, having said all of that, it's important for you to know that there are certain fears that you have right now that are perhaps preventing you from moving forward and evolving as you should on this process. One of which is that many of the individuals that I coach are afraid to lose feelings for their ex. They're afraid that progress on the path of personal transformation and detachment will mean that they no longer love their ex as passionately or that they no longer want to ultimately be together. And so there's this resistance to healing and to letting go because there's a comfort in feeling connected to your ex by still having to deal with the pain of the breakup. It may sound crazy to individuals that are not going through it, but to all of you who are still really reeling from the breakup, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You are attached to the pain. You are afraid that your ex will somehow detach because you have detached, will feel okay with the breakup and the separation because you are feeling better. And nothing could be further from the truth. Ultimately, they're gonna realize that they still have feelings as you start to demonstrate the best of what you have to offer, as you start to feel comfortable again, as you start to develop this new identity without them, as you start to smile again and to be confident and to convey through your actions that you're okay, that you don't need them to exist. It is not by expressing how broken and devastated you are and how much you love them that they're going to come back. If that is what made an ex come back, all of you would already be in new relationships because all of you have conveyed with a certain level of despair and desperation your love for your significant other. But most of the time that actually pushes them away. They don't want that. They don't want that burden. They don't want that pressure. It is not attractive. And they don't want to feel responsible, quite frankly, for your feelings and your emotions. Ultimately, they want to be with someone that uplifts them, that inspires them, that makes them smile, that will be a source of comfort for them, not someone that puts them on the highest pedestal and that overwhelms them with emotion. And so it is absolutely essential, if you have a broken heart, to know that it is okay to let go. It is okay to invest in you, in your healing process, because ultimately that is the path towards building a new relationship. Not holding on to the past and to what is broken, but instead focusing on creating something new that your significant other can latch onto. And that is what we help individuals do every single day. I've talked a lot about mindset and certain concepts here, but I also want you to have access to certain tailored actions that you can implement in your day-to-day that can help you make progress quickly. Once you've understood that you need to focus on this aspect of detachment. And this free training that I'm referring to is available to you in the description of this podcast and of this video. And I encourage you to check it out. I encourage you to not just conceptualize these things, but to actually apply them in your day-to-day and to reflect on the progress that you've made, because you will see that you're well on your way if you're able to implement some of the actions that we highly recommend that you take at this point in the process. It might still be very early on. You may just have gone through the separation, or you may be months into a breakup. Either way, I believe that simple steps can be taken that can help you feel empowered and for you to have this renewed sense of confidence that is necessary to attract your significant other again. All of it is accessible in the free training. And until then, I thank you for your trust. I thank you for listening to this episode. And I look forward to doing more awesome content for you. Keep fighting the good fight.